You're listening to Weird and Dead, the paleontology podcast that tells evolution's most embarrassing and bizarre stories. I'm Megan Wetherill.
And I'm Amy Atwater, and we're two living scientists who are weirdly excited about dead things.
On this episode, we focus mostly on the weird, specifically weird places that arthropods put their genitalia. You know, like their hands or their chins.
We also cover the fossils that record giant millipedes enjoying a good vigorous piggyback ride and dip into Megan's bizarre emotional investment in some unexpected household guests.
This episode is all about arthropods, so spiders, scorpions, and millipedes are a big part of it. Also, we're not for kids, but Amy's new book is, and you should go pick up a copy of The Fossil Keeper's Treasure.
I'm excited to be back. I've been sick for 2 months and I still don't sound great, but I didn't bring any cough drops. Hopefully it's okay. Knock on wood.
Ooh.
I'm back to discuss a new favorite topic, which is dick hands. Dick hands. Fossil dick hands, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, just again, like, actually, in some of these, you could probably call them dick feet, but I kind of feel like that niche is already taken. So I much prefer.
Yeah, you're right. Dick hands sounds much less like a fetish. That was sarcasm.
So really, it kind of started with gonopods, and it's evolved in some other hilarious name things that also just translate essentially into dick feet, dick hands, dicks. No, I didn't go into face dicks. That's a whole nother topic, whole other episode.
Amy told me the last time that we were doing episode planning that she was just going to separate it into a face stick thing. So the fact that there's this much information out there about dicks being where they shouldn't be is shocking. I mean, I guess
I would argue that this is where they should be. Like, this evolved way before you or I. Not that we have dick hands, but our species have a more classic mammalian perception of genitals. And that is very skewed, very biased. Obviously, from what I've read this week, I've been like mind blown at the freaky deaky things invertebrates do. And yeah, they've been doing it this way for a really long time. So essentially, like, to shake a little dick hand with your little vag slit is like pretty straightforward, deep time way to get things done. So yeah, we're gonna actually, and talking of that, I know your face is so great, but I really wanted to have this be dick hands and have it encompass not only the arthropods I'm gonna talk about, but also cephalopods, and I don't have time. I just know I'm not gonna have time. It's too much. Like, I ended up finding way too much stuff on arthropods. So there could be a second round that's just on cephalopods. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about arthropod dick hands today. And this all started because I was working on a different project and I was researching the Carboniferous, and I was then told that that wasn't exciting enough for said project and had to pivot. And I was like, not exciting enough, because my partner Kelly had also been helping me. He was doing a little bit of research on it too, just to like help lighten the load. And of course he went down a total ADHD spiral and was like, did you know that giant millipedes were around then? And did you know that they had these things called gonopods, which are just dick hands, dick feet? And I was like, oh, I'm so conflicted because that's so cool, but that's really not helpful.
And that's how you know that you found your perfect partner.
I was just like, okay, send it to the Weird and Dead email. Like, I can't think about that right now. I can't use that for this project. It's not the right audience. But that really got, us a little distracted in this household by dick hands a lot. And I've been kind of going down that millipede hole, if you will. So we're going to be talking about what gonopods are. We're going to be talking about who has them, i.e. millipedes, and how they use them to get freaky, dirty, nasty. And how do we know if fossil millipedes had them or not? What sort of evidence do we have for this? All right, so let's go ahead and dive in to the meat, to the legs, to the pods of all of this.
The shaft?
Okay. The appendage? Okay, but like on a personal level, how do you feel about millipedes? Like, I don't like them.
I used to always find those like the little ones that they exude the cyanide smell whenever you touch them, the ones in Oregon. So anytime I was looking for slugs and snails, I'd always find them, and I really hate that smell. So, which means it's very
Oh,
effective.
that's right. Oh, because you don't like almond. That's all related. That's
I
right.
like
That's
the
right.
taste of almonds, but if you're grinding it up and
No, you
making that
don't.
weird smell, yeah, like
You
almonds are
have gotten
fine.
offended every single time I've gotten like an almond latte. You're like, ugh, ugh,
Okay, well,
ugh."
that's a gross. I like the physical form of almonds, if you're going to have like, I don't want you to take almonds and make them into a milk. I think that's against God and against nature. And I don't want you to take them and I don't want to smell the weird almond smell. That smells like poison to me. But just the act of eating an almond is fine. I will eat an almond. The sheep fucking love almonds, by the way. I fed them some old wasabi almonds last week and they lost their minds.
Oh my God.
So,
okay, give the pregnant ones more spicy almonds. Like that is the
I don't
way
think
to
they can
induce
taste
labor.
wasabi. I think that they didn't seem
It
to show
doesn't matter if
any
they
reaction.
can taste it or not. Like, can't it, like, isn't it? I guess you do still have to have a reaction to it to be able to
Maybe.
have it be effective for inducing labor. But that's like an old wives' tale. Like, it's not shown with any actual data that.
My sheep haven't given birth is well, one of them has, but the other three have not. And I've been waiting all week. I thought they'd do it during spring break and they didn't. They just waited for classes to be back in session. Thank you, bitches. Anyways.
Right. Which has nothing to do with this.
Almonds. Okay, in solid form, not liquid or gas. Mm-hmm. Oh, and millipedes subsequently, don't like the way they smell.
I forgot that laughing makes me cough, so I apologize for the post editing that we're gonna have to do. I'm like, I'll be fine, and then I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. Yes, okay, well, great. I'm gonna be referring to some of this. I've always had a bit of a distrust of millipedes, and then I worked in Big Bend National Park, where they have pretty big millipedes. They're like, 8-10 inches long, and they always come out after the rain. And at first I was like, but by the end of the summer, I was like playing with them and letting them crawl on me, and I was just like, woo! So I was grateful for that. But in general, they just have way too many fucking legs. It's just rude. It's confusing. And it's been really hard to understand exactly where the gonopods fit in because they have so many goddamn legs. So they're a type of arthropod. We've talked about arthropods before. Most folks, I hope, know what a general idea of an arthropod. It's an invertebrate. I almost said insectivore. Like, no. Some of them, probably. Yeah. So it includes things like insects, spiders, crabs, lobsters, scorpions, those sorts of things. Things that have, this exoskeleton and, in my opinion, too many legs. And they mate also, in my opinion, really weird. Like, it's just strange. So most...
I like how you're framing this as if you're going to offend a millipede.
I'm just too much of an empath.
I don't want these millipedes to feel bad about their fucked up sex lives.
They think we're weird. They're like, you put what where? So here's one of the first words that I did not Google how to pronounce. Anyway, most modern millipedes are what we call porogoniate, which means that their genital openings are near the anterior of their body. So closer to the head than the butt, which again, right off the bat, nope, weird.
I don't know.
No.
I mean, I feel like, it's further from the poop. That seems like maybe a good evolutionary investment.
True. This is a good point. I mean, especially when I start talking about the weird oral sex and spiders. Anyway, we'll get to
God.
that, maybe. I was just like, what? So many times lately. Okay, back to millipedes. Okay, so they got their junk closer to their face. So gonopods are 1 or 2 pairs of very modified walking legs. And I didn't even include a picture of all the variation that we find in millipede gonopods right now, because I was going to say, Megan, you should make a pattern that's just millipede dicks. And I would be so honored.
Yeah, okay.
To just...
okay. Yeah, millipede dick print.
I'll send that because I have too many images. So
I'm
how
I love images that are just secret dicks. So
right. No, this one is here. Maybe I'll add it. I think I can, said Thomas.
If you also like secret dicks, you should check out my patterns at geopetalfabric.com, as we have both penis worms and Treptichnus, which is the probing traces of penis worms, and maybe someday gonopods, dick hands. Oh, I should make gloves.
Oh my God, that would be so cool. Okay, I'm adding it to the first image. You can go ahead and scroll to the first page both of which shows a photo and then some of that variation. Because, of course, like we've talked about before, these dicks are used to discern the different species. So it's like what we talked about with like the baculum and bobellum, how some species are really like determined by the anatomy of their dick or clit bones. And so again, this one just shows you the freaky deaky hand dicks of millipedes, the variation in them.
So are these paired? Like, do you have 2 dick hands or do you just have one weird hand like a fiddler crab?
You know, I think yes. I think it's all of it. I think there's so much variation because when I read about it, it was like pairs of, and they're usually at the leg pair 7 and or 8 at the 7th body segment. That's where the gonopods are in for males. And then when you look at this first image, which is like a SEM image of a millipede, and it shows you this is a juvenile and on the left. So the juveniles do not have modified dick hands yet. They just have normal legs, normal millipede legs.
Babies don't have dicks?
I guess. Yeah, babies don't have dicks. Okay. Maybe that's for the best. See?
Yeah.
The middle one is like the transition when it's like in its little cocoon turning into the dick.
A beautiful butterfly dick hand.
A beautiful butterfly dick hand. And then on the right, we have them colored. So there's like a yellow, a green, and a blue. And like one's going like parallel with the body. 2 are going like off at a 45-degree angle.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if that's mirrored on the other side and they just didn't color them symmetrically to show what colored versus uncolored look. Because I know when we get to Eurypterids in a little bit, it isn't symmetrical. Like they got junk flinging out of like one side, but they don't necessarily, it's not like a pair. And that's why I was like on the fence about including them because they're dick appendages versus like dick hands, but we'll get there. Okay.
So some species can probably do kind of like an evil villainous holding their dick hands together in front of their face, but others would just have the one.
Right.
Bizarre.
Yeah. I think most of the time they're paired, though. I really do think they're paired, at least in most of the classic millipede presentations. Okay. So again, they think that it's, the morphology of it is maybe it's like a sperm competition things. They think in some cases, again, it's to scoop out the sperm of other males. And for some, it's thought to stimulate the females into becoming receptive for their little sperm packet that they want to go slap onto the sperm, whatever. Anyway, but they change as they go through ontogeny. So as they get older, they look different. But that's essentially what a gonopod is for millipedes, it's a highly derived arm, leg, whatever you want to say, limb. Too many of them. And one of them or more of them are dicks. Which ones? We don't really know. So how do they do it? How do they use these? So most of them, of course, there's variation. Now, most of them, the male approaches the female and stimulates her. Wait, what?
High fives her?
High fives her? Well, like, wouldn't it be like a bajillion five her?
That's true. I don't know which legs are involved in the
That's what I'm saying. Too many. Too fucking many. You don't need that many legs. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Okay, it's obviously not, though, because they've been around for what, like 300 million fucking years or some crazy shit like that? Yeah. Did I look up the age of any of these fossils? No. I don't care. I only care about their dick hands. That's as far as I went. So, the modern ones, again, how does it work? Okay, so they high five, and she's like, yeah, jump on. And so, so while their dick arms are on segment 7, right? I said that. So 7 from the head. The gonopores, so where the females would have receptors and where the male sperm is made, is in segment 3. So that's actually closer to the head. So when he mounts her, they're not like perfectly even in terms of where they're at in their body segments. He has essentially transferred from his segment 3 some sperm to his gonopods on segment 7 and then mounts her and goes up to her segment 3 and then is like and like trying to get that spunk in her slit.
So if
we have a photo, there's a picture later.
Okay. I was going to say, so it's basically like she's kind of motorboating him while getting fertilized.
Yeah. I think there's like a lot of, yep.
It's hard to make parallels here.
It really is, and I think that like it has to be her underside too. So their undersides are facing, which feels classic and normal. That nothing else. That nothing else follows the bow plan, in my opinion, personally. Right. Okay. So a male mounts a female at their segment 3 with their segment 7 dick hands, and then open the vulval slit and use their gonopods to transfer the sperm from where they make it at segment 3 to the gonopod to the female. And that is in these genital pores that are a paired small sac called siphopods or vulvae, which are covered by cute little small hood-like lids that store the sperm. I mean, they're cum dumpsters. They're cum dumpsters.
Beautiful.
I was like, yeah, this episode is dick hands and cum dumpsters. I was like, but we can't call it that.
I mean, we can on Patreon.
We can on Patreon. We don't want to get flagged on other platforms. Okay, so that's like, yeah, that's how they do it is they, right. It's like, some weird segments. And now that just leads us to go, well, how long have millipedes been doing it like this, right? Millipedes have been around since the Carboniferous. I read that they are the first truly fully terrestrial, there we go. We can include all of those. That's great. They were the first true land animal.
Yeah, because there's like tracks of them, right? Long before little stupid tetrapods.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
That's where we're going next. I'm so excited. Yes.
Oh God, yeah. What does the dick hand look like in a trackway?
Well, that you can't tell the difference between a dick hand and its legs.
Oh.
Like they just. But you're on the right track. Okay. Most scientists think that ancient millipedes did it like modern millipedes. Okay. We do have some evidence for this. So. Which order is this in? Okay, I started with this one. Okay, so we have this trackway. So in track paleontology, paleoichnology, if you will, you have your track maker, as you know, versus the track itself. They don't always share the same name, right? The track fossil might have a totally different name from the animal that made it. So I was confused because I was like, oh, this isn't the arthropleura. And then it was like, no, it's an arthroplurid, but because it's a track, it has a different name. So the arthropleura is the giant millipede that lived in the Carboniferous. I mean, it was like 6 feet long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the size of a man or me, I guess. And I mean, like my worst nightmare. And I was really upset because I know that they had recently found a more complete arthropleura specimen and they straight up synchrotroned it. And I searched that paper. I read it. I used all the search functions. I was just like, tell me about their dick hands. Nothing. I was like, come on. Oh, why do you not want to know? And maybe they just didn't preserve because it was mostly the head of this one. And again, unless you get segments 3 through 7, you might not have a great idea of the sexy parts. So I was frustrated because we do have pretty good arthropleura specimens. Oh, that are so horrifying. I read this other horrifying thing that just made me like, literally, I was like, oh, like they were like, yeah, mostly we don't get their heads preserved in the fossil record because that's where their bodies bust out of their molts and they like destroy their, thank you.
Oh, right. Because these stupid fucking arthropods, they shed their skeleton. And so you find their skeleton, not necessarily them. Ugh, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And when you do it through your face hole, because it's not your dick hole, it's like you destroy your own face.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't want to molt through that. So they found these arthroplurid track fossils in Scotland, and they are very much because of the size. We know that they are this large-bodied millipede. The timing, the age is right, Carboniferous, middle of the Paleozoic, whatever. And it was just so fascinating because it's essentially like 3 tracks next to each other. It's like 1, 2, and 3. And they were like, okay, so since we have 3 parallel sets of footprints, we have 2 possibilities here. The first is that the right leg of one was perfectly walking in every single hole of the left leg of the other in unison, like a freaky like 3-legged but 300-legged race. Yes. Or it was a male catching a ride on a female trying to do it with her. And that's why you get his left side, his right feet are on her left side. So you're getting both of her sets of tracks and then his whatever side he's on. And so that's what they're interpreting. And because of that interpretation, they know that they must be mating the same way that modern millipedes are mating. So you can go ahead and scroll.
Is there a lot of
their
walking?
artist reconstruction of that?
Walking is involved in? Oh, wow.
I guess so. I mean, they are active, getting it. Or she was like, get the fuck off.
That's just two segmented bananas.
Thank you. Yes. Well, it's really funny. The figure caption is like, oh, we took out all of the like dorsal anatomy so that you would just have an image of what this action would have looked like. And I'm like, yeah, but now they look like banana slugs, which don't have any legs. So
the shadow is hilarious.
Talk
really
about
like
dick hands. And so they also write that, okay, because we know that these arthropods millipedes, we know their eating habits, that they were essentially herbivorous detritivores, which is vegetarian dumpster feeders. You know, they were not this wasn't predatory, is their argument. So this piggyback association, their words, not mine, this piggyback association was not cannibalistic. It wasn't predator-prey. It was most likely two millipedes getting freaky deaky.
Wow. That's amazing. I can't believe we have that in the fossil record. And
it's just a trackway.
It's just a trackway.
I mean, not just a trackway. We'll link,
still.
The papers are always on our website, and this one was really good. The trackways are really, like, I work at a place famous for its trackways, and I'm like, yeah, cool, all right. So, like, I saw the pictures of these, but I am going to go to Scotland in May at the end of my other trip, and I'm, like, laughing already because I'm going to go to this trackway. I'm not going to go to, like, the Hutton sites or, the Sicker Point. I'm like, no, fuck that. I want to go see these millipedes fucking tracks.
I can't wait to see those selfies.
300 million years ago, creepy invertebrates with too many legs had sex. Yeah.
Just a reenactment of you with like a millipede stuffy.
I know. I have a Eurypterid stuffy, and I was like, why did they not include the genital appendages?
Always overlooked. All these sexless stuffed animals that we give to children. It's not educational.
I know.
You know?
No, I did take a great, never mind. That's about cloaca. We don't need to go there right now. I guess in a way, some of these are cloaca. So there's also another fossil specimen that I don't have a picture of because I don't have a ton on this, but there's a Miocene millipede from Mexican amber that also has preserved gonopods. And that one's really, really fascinating, again, to just show, yes, with evidence that there are existing in the fossil record. But the Miocene, we're talking, maybe around 15 million years ago. So not as interesting in terms of when did these behaviors evolve? Is it always been like this?
Is this kinky sex for millipedes, or is this traditional vanilla sex for millipedes?
Right.
And it's looking very traditional vanilla.
This is very vanilla. May we take a page out of their book? Or not. We're not. I don't know what that even looks like. I don't even know what that means. Okay, but the reason I wanted to include the specimen that was found in amber in this was you've been working on something too long when you start to be like highly amused by really stupid parts of it. Like it doesn't matter, but you're like, ha, ha, ha. Well, that was me, because in the image that they had that like had the gonopods identified and labeled, in the caption, it was, I just bolded these words. Although relatively immature, gonopods are small, bulbous, crooked, and shrunken. And I was like,
that's descriptive. That really paints a picture. Okay.
Can you imagine? Like, again, your dick fossilizes. The rare upon rare upon rare. Your dick fossilizes, and then millions of years later, some asshole dumb primate critiques your penis and calls it small, crooked, and shrunken.
Absolutely, that is a kink. I'm sure there's an OnlyFans dedicated to exclusively that. God.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm also been really confused as I've read about the millipedes and the spiders because they use words like tibiotarsus and femur.
Oh, yeah. Super confusing.
And I'm like, what?
That shouldn't be allowed.
Find your own. Like, fuck off. Like, you don't have those bones.
Stupid bug limbs. Yeah.
Yes. Like, I was like, no, tibiotarsus, no. That's, no, rude. Back off. Go jump on a, whatever, piggyback. Go piggyback on out of here. So those are our fossil millipedes. So while we don't have an arthroplura body fossil yet that has its gonopods truly, truly, truly preserved, we have quite a bit of evidence that the earliest millipedes did indeed have gonopods and do it the weird, freaky, deaky way that modern millipedes get it on. And I will be very excited now. I almost put on Blue Sky, like, does anybody know of any arthroplural that has a gonopod? And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Your restraint is admirable. I would have absolutely already posted that and been mad if
maybe
nobody
I'll
did.
just... Yeah, I'll just do it from the podcast account, maybe. That's
Yeah, they'll definitely never know who that's from. Absolutely.
No, yeah, well, it's true. I know. I'm in this quandary of like wanting to promote both the podcast and my children's book and being like, not the same audience. Please don't let your children listen to this. You're going to get so mad at us. You're going to get really mad at us. Okay, next section. I was not going to include spider dick hands because there was so much. But then Kelly and I went to a science lounge after hours, like adults, thing at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science around Valentine's Day. And the talk was from their curator of invertebrates. She was, I was like, can we be best friends? I mean, like, you need to hang out. Like, we gotta get together. She's, almost ready to retire, but we gotta hang out. So she was great. Actually, the video I have is like in honor of the video she showed, it was horrifying. It's camel spiders mating.
Oh, camel spiders are so cool. I have some that live in my house. Want more content and you don't want to wait? Or maybe you don't want to hear ads like this? Well, head on over to our Patreon for exclusive content, early ad-free episodes, and so much more. For only $5 a month, you can hear outtakes, exclusive episodes, and the stuff we cut for time. And also the stuff we cut because it was just too much for the general public.
Looking for fresh fashion with a science twist? Be sure to check out Geopetal Fabric, Megan's clothing company. These geek chic designs look fantastic and make for excellent conversation starters. Plus, get 10% off using code WEIRDANDDEAD. Head on over to geopetalfabric.com now. Ew, do you really?
Yeah. There's a couple of species that live in Washington, and they seem to exclusively live in my house. And I call them all Tony because I can't tell them apart. But I love them because I don't know why I like them, actually. They're just spiders that their bite isn't venomous, and they don't build a web, and they run really, really fast. So I got mad once because I thought that the cat had killed one, and I made a little gravestone out of paper.
Oh my God. Wow. You thought, but now do you know that wasn't what happened?
It was a molt. It was a molt.
See, yeah.
Oh, Tony.
I'll never forget watching a tarantula molt. It was one of the more terrifying moments of my life, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Okay, well then maybe we'll go to that camel once I give my little intro.
Show me Tony's dick hands.
Yeah, so spiders also have dick hands. They're not called gonopods. They're called pedipalps. And a lot of them seem to just call them palps or peds or peds. I don't know. It was just like, I guess most of them call them palps, and I've been like, no, just pedipalps. Anyway, which again, it's dick feet. So in them, it's like, okay, I cannot pronounce the word that they use to describe the jaws, the like, whatever. It's their jaws, right? They like a spider's got its jaws, and then it's got its dick hands, and then it's got all of its legs. So.
Okay. Wait, really? Those are the dick hands on its face? Oh.
Yeah, if you want to scroll to the first image, it's both of a fossil spider from Australia as well as a labeled diagram that shows you where the pedipalps are.
The penis palp? Mm-hmm. Yeah, why did you name things femur, patella, tibia, but you didn't just name it penis palp? Come on.
Or like baculum, Like if you're going to just
That's true.
steal
bone,
bony anatomy.
Yeah.
Right. Then why not just keep going? I mean, I'm highly amused, so it's fine. Okay, the thing about the pedipalps is that for a lot of arachnids, they don't always just use them for doing it. They also use it, like it's literally the pinchers of a scorpion are their pedipalps.
Okay.
I didn't go a ton into if they're doing it with, I think they do it with, I don't really know. I just focused on spiders. Don't come at me. I don't.
Okay.
Anyway, sometimes they're used for like sensory things. And I guess for horseshoe crabs, they're like for motion and movement and they literally move around with them.
Walk on their dicks.
But for spiders, they are for doing it. And when they're a mature spider, as this amazing curator pointed out, their pedipalps go from just being like tube arms, and you can go ahead and scroll down to see the boxing gloves that a mature male spider. You want to describe the boxing gloves?
And they've turned from tubes to two fuzzy testicles. Just big old face testicles with real like porcupine looking hairs.
I know, they're hairy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, some hairy balls.
Some hairy balls. Hairy balls. How do the ladies like that?
Ugh.
Actually, I know how they like that. They eat you. Frequently, they fucking eat you. And that's one of the things that, so I wanted to talk about the cephalopod dick hands too, because I mean, so funny. And one of the things that cephalopods do is that a lot of their dick hands, which has a name, I just don't care. It's a modified tentacle that's for depositing spunk. Well, first off, the whole process is disgusting. The females just like swim around with just like spunk stuck to their mouths all the time.
What? To their mouths?
Yeah, they tend to prefer to like have them be kind of embedded in their quote unquote gums.
Embedded?
Yeah, the colossal squid image I looked at made me want to die. I mean, like they just kind of, and I didn't go into it. We can do a bonus or a full blown, or maybe we'll do it as a tag team. No pun intended there either. But fucking crazy, disgusting. I was horrified. But one of the things is that the male dick arms are frequently like detachable. Like they're like, nope, you can have it, because the females eat the males so often because after they mate and lay their eggs, they never eat again. Like they sit on their brood for upwards of months, by the way, it's been observed, and they don't eat. So their last meal is the sperm donor. And so sometimes in some species, the males just have like a go-go gadget dick arm that detaches.
Fling it at them.
Yes. And they're like, ugh, got hit by that spermatophore dart. And so a lot of male spiders have an adaptation like that as well. So they use, again, this dick hand to kind of siphon up their sperm from their, like, wherever they store it more in their gross nastiness of their bodies.
From the mystery orifice.
Well, we know they don't have normal, like, veins and bodies and tubes. They're just gross.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they have these specialized tips at the end of these pedipalps that are actually used to deposit into, again, the abdomen of the female. And gosh, like what I've been reading about. Again, most of the time spiders, the males are much smaller than the females. So they usually approach from the back.
They literally hit it from the back?
Yes, because they don't want to be eaten. Because they don't want to be decapitated. Because the females are 14 times larger than them in many cases.
Hot.
So they come from the back. They try to keep her all nice and happy. They oftentimes choose right after she molted because she can't attack while she's waiting for her exoskeleton to nice and harden up. And so some of them can like chew off their pedipalps in a way that essentially is just like, here you go. You can have this. Please don't eat me. Here's my like sacrificial thing. And I was reading about this one spider. It's the Darwin bark spider, which is famous for a lot of reasons. It's from Madagascar. It seems really cool. It has like the strongest web and it has this crazy huge web that it does. Not only does it try to like come from the back and like offer up an offering, it will straight up bondage her. Mate binding with his silk. He'll be like, it's all cool. It's all good. Don't worry about me here. But whips and chains excite me. Just don't eat me.
Bondage for safety reasons.
Fucking crazy. Yes, to literally restrain her. And apparently this Darwin's bark spider is like the only like invertebrate, I don't know, whatever. The only spider that has been found to perform oral sex, as they call it, on the females, where they salivate on the female's junk before and after doing it. And they don't entirely know why, but it is a thing that exists in arthropods who are freaky deaky. Really freaky. Do you want to watch the video of the...
Yeah, I do. The grosser that it sounds, the more I want to watch the...
I'm going to put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is the camel spiders.
Yes.
And this video led to me Googling the question, do camel spiders eat ass?
Okay, I'm ready. Hold on. Okay. Do you want to watch it with me? Should I share my screen? That might crash everything. So how about...
Yeah, I'll just watch it at the same time.
Okay.
So just tell me when you start it.
All right. And play.
So this is the male
Okay.
using his mouth. So he's already got the sperm is in those whatever, his little dick hands. And he's using his mouth to essentially get into the female's abdomen so that he can fill her up with his 2 dick hands of sperm.
Huh.
That's what's happening. But it really looks like he is just eating mad ass. In my opinion. Well, okay, take that with a grain of salt.
Okay. I mean, that really just reinforces to me. So, for a while there, I knew I had at least 2 camel spiders in my house because one of them was fatter than the other. So I called that one Fat Tony, and it lived in the living room. Whereas regular Tony...
That was a female.
Yeah, I was like, Fat Tony's either like really killing it or Fat Tony is a female. Turns out Fat Tony was a lady. Huh.
I mean, Fat Tony could have been fat because she was full of normal Tony's little Tonys. Ready to just...
Russian nesting doll Tony. Well,
Ugh.
I'm really glad that I haven't seen any of my Tonys do that behavior because that looks really vicious and I'd be very concerned for their health. And I already get really upset at the cats if they are playing with anything that looks like it could be one of the Tonys. So...
Yeah, but maybe the Tonys are into it.
I mean, I'm shocked that the Tonys haven't just bitten the shit out of the cats because, I mean, they're not that big. They're like an inch, maybe an inch and a half long, the ones that live in my house. But like camel spiders, aka wind scorpions, are like super well known for their pretty painful bites. So someday I'm sure they'll get their own back.
See, this is all going to work so far against me. I'm going to see a spider again and I'm going to be like, let me see your dick hands. And it's going to like bite my face. And I'm going to be like, God damn it, Amy.
Wait,
Take
so
it down a notch.
Only male spiders have pedipalps or do female spiders just have mini peens?
Oh, that is a fucking phenomenal question. I think they have them too. I just don't think they're modified to be able to transfer.
Okay, they're just not like giant testicle hands.
I don't think they get those palpal...
The balls.
Whatever they call them, the bulbs, yes.
Yeah.
The boxing gloves. I don't think they ever get that because I think that's full chooch. Like, I just think that is, like, ready to go. So, I don't think they get that.
Like a water balloon of sperm. That's disgusting. I guess that's what testicles really are.
Ugh, God. Ugh. Ugh, everything about this is disgusting. I know. That's why seriously, we'll have to give cephalopods their own episode because I do want to do more. One of the reasons why I had a hard time too is because I wanted to tie it to more fossils, but a lot of the fossil stuff is like really just like hypothetical, theoretical, not like a straight up fossil of like a fucking dick arm up in another, because they're cephalopods, So
they barely fossilize as it is. Yeah, so...
Yeah, right, except for like the ammonites and whatnot. But how were they doing it if the male, there's less real estate to stick the spermatophore? Yeah, I don't know. I need to talk to I'll talk to an ammonite person when I go to the UK and I'll be like, yeah, but how'd they fuck? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, no, please tell me. I know I'm leading a tour.
I promise I'm not sexually interested, but I am unusually
I'm not trying to put my dick in an ammonite. But Adam and Eve, if you want us to do that. Well, I wanted to end on some fossils. So, when I was talking about Anthropleura, the giant, terrifying millipede, it is one of the largest arthropods of all time. Do you remember what the largest arthropod of all time has been?
Is it a Eurypterid?
Yes.
A sea scorpion? Mm-hmm.
It's a sea scorpion. Honestly, this kind of got more into like the crab territory and like horseshoe crab than I really wanted to go. This is less dick hands and a little bit more like dick appendage, but we do have some fossils of it, which is kind of cool. And what I find the funniest is that they see two morphologies in different eurypterids that they used to interpret, of course, as different species because that's what we do. That tracks. And now they're realizing it's probably sexual dimorphism. But so it's really funny because they talk about type A genital appendage versus type B. And I'm like, what, the really overachieving one? And of course, the type A is interpreted to be the females and more often. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and scroll to our last image. Oh, it's not the last. Never mind. Just kidding. I have a last one. That's a joke.
Okay. Oh my God.
Aren't they cute? But terrifying.
Wait, those are the claws or the...
No. Okay. It is so in the far right picture, there's a white arrow pointing to like the middle of the belly.
Oh, it really does look like a little dick. It's almost cute.
It reminds me more of like a crab though. Cause you know, growing up in Oregon, I know how to sex a crab, you know? Seen my fair share of Dungeness.
Fucking deviant Oregonians, yeah.
Yeah, just fucking crabs. No, we're not. It's you can only collect the males. So you need to know the difference. So it's kind of like that. So it's like it's closer again to the head, but instead of being a paired set of limbs, it's just this appendage that's fairly midline underneath the head area.
Okay.
And it has these two different morphologies. What do they say? It's like type A has more of this elongated rod with an internal duct that they then talk about being the, God, what do they call it? Horn. I was dying. It was, oh, that's right. In my last oh yeah. It's like type A has an appendage that's armed with two curved spines called a furca. I'm like, cool. I can't. That's hilarious. And then it is a set of organs traditionally described as either tubular organs or horn organs. Okay. And then in these images where they abbreviate them, it's literally like, it's super funny they're like, yes, F-U for furcula and ho for horn organ. And I'm like, I can't, guys. You can't make the horn organ of the female called ho. Like, that's just, use a different fucking, I thought it was funny, but I was just like, okay, so they don't truly know if these different morphologies really are reflecting difference in the sexes, but that's what they're interpreted to be. The type B has more of these like, I don't know, dangly little things that are more to like get the spunk in, but some of the diagrams just look like a camel toe, so that I'm like off again because I don't understand what's going on. But they think that the greater length of type A is that it's an ovipositor, which we've also talked about before.
Oh.
But again, I was on the fence about including this because they're not really arm hands. They're really more like a dick chin or like a dick appendage, you know? It's just like a dangle.
I love that you're so concerned with breaking your own dick hand, dick chin rules that you set for yourself.
I'm trying to rein myself in. I am trying desperately to not just do a thing that's like, hey, I wrote a book on dicks. Which, by the way, if you'd like to hire us to write a book on dicks, we would do a great job of it. Think of us. Yeah. Every time you think of dicks, think of us.
No.
Think of me. So the last image is from this paper all about eurypterid sex. And again, I find it really funny. Okay, so it's like a hypothetical mating scheme. So let me just start with this. A male courts a female on the left. Okay, I'll have to stop right there. First off, we've already established that they are like jamming their penis hand things into each other. And like, why are we using the word court? Why is he courting her in this situation?
You don't know what romance is for eurypterids, Amy.
Did he ask her parents' permission to see her?
Has he eaten her ass like a camel spider?
Did he ask permission to put his genital appendage in her type A genital appendage? Why are we using, can't we just say like approaches a female? Like who says that he's being fancy? Okay, he grasps her anterior appendages with his smictar lobes, dragging her to a suitable position for spermatophore deposition. Okay, but why drag? You just said courting and now you're dragging her? I just don't understand the consent here. I don't understand. Like, why is he dragging her?
It's a beautiful sperm dance, Amy. You grab your lover by their hands with your, I believe that's scimitar lobes, which is a sword.
Oh, I can't say anything.
And you drag her over the sperm that you have dropped. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Kind of.
Like, that's literally what it is. And then it's like he drags her over where he's dumped his load and just like shoves her face in it. The favorite thing about it at the end is like, sperm is drawn up to the genital atrium from which it passes to the spermacathe for storage. Pair then separates. How do you know? How do you know? Oh, maybe they got coffee. Maybe they had a nice chat. Maybe they went to lunch. Maybe he introduced her to her parents. Why did they have to separate? I don't understand. I don't get it.
You know that graphic that you showed me so long ago with the primate evolution of boobs and dick?
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever you say that image you showed me, that's always where my head goes. I'm going to get it tattooed on my body.
I wish that this one had that equivalent where you had like the weird little penis morphology up above, because I can't, they look the same to me. I can't tell which one's the male and which one's the female. This little dance would be a lot easier to understand if they'd included giant tits on one.
The male is the one who dropped a load in segment B and then left it there for her to pick up. Okay.
He's got forks.
He was like, clean this up, bitch.
Why does he have forks?
This is like a really weird, awful. It's also like a sideways shot. Like we're just like, we're just looking at two strange. Right though? That was great. I love that. I just was like, and again, I didn't do deep enough dive.
You
I
did
plenty
a great
of deep dives,
deep dive,
but
yeah.
There's plenty to go more on, and I would love to hear about more of this shit, because the other thing that I was frustrated but also tickled by is that not a lot of people are talking about weird dick hands, and I'm like, great, our territory, awesome, it's for us. But it also just kind of made me a little bit sad, because I'm like, really, everybody loves sex. Like, why aren't there more pop press articles and shit about these
dick hand evolution?
Weird dick hands. Yeah. And all of the things that we have yet to know, and the spider that gives oral sex, like, come on.
You're being corrupted by the entomologists. They're really just pushing that worldview. They're being censored by the media.
Oh my God. Those were the journeys of dick hands that I've been super excited to talk to you about.
That's amazing. What a journey. I will never look at Tony or Fat Tony the same way again. I hope I never see them interact with one another.
I do. I would love to see Fat Tony and Tony going at it. That seems like the only time I'd want to see them is them going at it. Otherwise, I'm like, ew, gross. I don't know. There's something wrong with me. There's something seriously wrong with me.
And that sounds like a great spot to end the episode.
Thank you for listening. If you liked the podcast, be sure to rate and review us on your listening platform of choice. We really, really, really appreciate it.
If you'd like to hear more and support the show, you can follow us on Patreon for some exclusive bits, or on our various social media platforms. You can follow Amy on Instagram at Mary Anning's Revenge,
and Megan on Instagram and TikTok as Geopetal Fabric, or both of us at Weird and Dead on Instagram and TikTok. Our theme song is Unlock Me by Praz Canal. Cover art was provided by Chris Spencer and the hosts.
And this has been hosted and researched by us, Amy Atwater and Megan Weatherall. Thank you for listening.
That's what I am. I'm the dinosaur lady, not a scientist. Let's not get it twisted. I don't do that. No.